In today's Transfer Rater alongside Alejandro Moreno, we're going to look at potential moves or staying put in the January winter window. Man United got Fred. Now they want Axel Witsel, or do they?
Well, they may want Axel Witsel, but if you're Borussia Dortmund, why? Well, why would you get rid of a guy that is important to what you're doing? I know, by the way, you're first in Bundesliga. Why mess with something that is working? I think this is a miss from the perspective of Borussia Dortmund, and I think it's a miss from the perspective of Axel Witsel as well.
What about Arnautovic? Do we know his best position, first of all? Because he's playing as a striker for West Ham, but he's been playing as a 10 and out wide for others.
We don't know what his best position is, but I do know that he's a dangerous player. And he's a guy that needs to have some space and freedom to do things that he wants to do in the final third, because he doesn't have a defined position. He can play underneath, he can play as an out-and-out striker, sometimes he goes out wide. Having that freedom is not something that happens naturally at Manchester United. Therefore, I don't see it, not just yet anyways.
This was one of the best quotes I've read in a while. It was a "come and get me, I want to stay" plea from Eden Hazard.
Yeah, I love Real Madrid, but I like Chelsea too, and I love Chelsea, but you know Real Madrid is my... Okay, all right. Eden, I know you're going to leave at some point, but it's not going to happen this transfer window. It's a hit that he's staying at Chelsea.
Now, this is an interesting one. Neymar back to Barca if Dembele goes the other way.
Neymar back to Barca. I thought he was leaving Barcelona because this is the opportunity for him to come out of the shadow of Lionel Messi. As far as I know, Lionel Messi is still in Barcelona and will be there for a long time to come. This just doesn't make any sense. I don't even know how it comes up. And from Ousmane Dembele, from his perspective, by the way, I think it's best that he stays at Barcelona, because Valverde seems to have a handle as to how to manipulate Dembele into believing and understanding that there's something about discipline. There's something about behaving off the field and then translating into good results and a consistent career long term. Dembele should stay at Barcelona, and Neymar, I have no idea what he's doing.
Somebody's getting rich if he moves again.
Well, it won't be you and me.
As always. Yeah. Match day 5 in the Champions League. Let's see if we can make some correct predictions. Alongside Alejandro Moreno, you go first with Roma, Real Madrid.
Honeymoon is over with Santi Solari, and so therefore, after you get destroyed by Eibar away from home, there has to be some sort of reaction. There has to be some sort of performance. Now, going away to Roma, I don't know that that's where you really want to go find answers. However, I still think that Real Madrid, at their best, they're better than Roma. Finding their best, that's the question.
Seen some fine evenings in the Olympico. I don't think Roma will win. I think they'll get a point from that one. Bayern against Benfica.
I could just as well say what I just said just now about Real Madrid with Bayern Munich. Look, you're winning 3-1 against Fortuna Düsseldorf, and you give up those late 2 goals, and there's all sorts of pressure going on. And Niko Kovac, who knows what's going to happen with him? He's got the old vote of confidence that you know what that means. It means that sooner than later he's not going to be here unless they start winning games. This is a good night to start winning games. Bayern Munich.
Yep. Ronnie and Juve against Valencia.
Ronnie and Juve beat Valencia.
Doesn't need much analysis. Lyon against Man City. You know what happened when they went to the Etihad? They won.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen when Manchester City goes to Lyon? They're going to win. That's what happens.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Whatever that means.
How many for United? Or could we have said that prior to the Palace game and look what happened? Any chance for the young boys of Bern?
No chance for the young boys, the old boys, the up-and-coming boys. It doesn't matter. Manchester United, as dreadful as they are sometimes, they'll be too much for young boys, we assume. If not, then we'll be talking about Manchester United again, and not in a positive light.
All comes down to the top one. Is it Roma? Is it a draw? Or is it Real Madrid in the Champions League this week?
Tempted for extra time. Hey, everybody. How you guys doing?
All right.
Greg, Stevie, Ale, and the guy they always make fun of here with you. FC Extra Time if you ever want to get your questions.
You like doing this job, though, right?
Hi, that's a loaded question. Yeah, actually, yeah.
What would you like? A little bit of Mickey taking? You know what that means?
Yes, yeah.
Sorry, it's because of terminology. Would you prefer this? And a bit of narky debate, or would you like to sit in the studio with some boring individuals?
No.
Who just go from point to point?
Yeah, no. This is by far the best show.
Cut and paste, there's a running order. There you go, let's get to you.
No. That's the good thing. There's no prep for this show. Because whatever prep you would do...
We've noticed.
Okay.
Hey, don't sell yourself
That's
short.
clear.
We've seen you with a computer.
Laptop Larry's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, we'll go to him, and then we'll go back into the anchor. And then we'll go to him, and then we'll go back to the anchor. And then we'll go to Ali.
It's like herding cats sometimes. No. You guys know I enjoy this quite a bit. Question comes in from Oscar
I'm glad
here.
you do.
No, I'm sure you are well concerned over that.
Because you do like your trips up to Connecticut, don't you?
I do like my trips up to Connecticut.
They're quite cheap, aren't they?
Well, when you forget your wallet, well, sorry, no, you don't. You forget your wallet and your cell phone dies. Then,
No, that was the best one.
Craig,
I have to say, a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago,
Not that old chest.
I was quite prepared for the meal. When we were out last Sunday or the Sunday before, for a bite to eat and a couple of beers, and Sunday night after the show, I was quite prepared after taking you back to my neck of the woods and getting an Uber.
Our neck of the woods?
Our neck of the woods.
Okay, thank you.
Don't mention the town. I don't want anybody attacking me. Down to the restaurant, stroke bar. That's sorted. And I thought, do you know what? I'll throw the meal in for him as well. I'm quite prepared to pay for the meal, so they've done that. The last straw, though, the last straw is when he turned to me and said, my cell phone's died, which now meant I was going to have to pay for his Uber home as well.
See, that's just abuse.
Because I had to put it on my app.
I never expected for Craig Burley to ask me to go to dinner with him, so I figured I had to get everything out of it that I had to take advantage of the moment.
And he come up to me the day with a token gesture when he arrived. I was at my desk and he come over. I don't know,
So
like $40 or $60 or $20. I can't even remember.
It was $60.
Was it?
I figured
Come on,
40 for the meal and 20 for the Uber.
He had wrong on both counts.
Low on both counts.
And he got it straight back because I thought, I'm not taking any money off him because I'm going to dine out. I'm going to dine out in this. Dine out in this for quite a while.
Oh no, this is I am never living this down. I've jumped Donaldson. I've jumped everybody in the cheapskate ranking.
Now, when you got this invite from Craig Burley, what was your first reaction? You got a little unsettled. Maybe that's what happened.
Well, I had to scramble to pick my teeth up off the floor because my jaw hit it so hard. No, I was excited. You know,
I'm a social. I like going out.
Yeah, and honestly,
a social butterfly, I think you've been called.
A beer and a
Social
bite to eat, I'm
butterfly.
all right. I mean, you might not be able to keep up with me in the drinking state because that was quite obvious.
yeah. Well,
The louder that you got.
Did I get loud?
A little loud.
Look,
You start loud.
Well, yeah,
Well, yeah.
that's...
You start loud and get louder.
Yeah, well, you've never had a beer with me, Stevie, so maybe you'll invite me for the next...
He ain't gonna pay.
That'll be a dine and ditch. You say that's like we'll both turn to each other at the same time. Hey, I forgot my wallet.
Well, you just don't try and spin this on me just because you're a cheapskate.
Yeah.
That old trick.
What? Yeah, that was unacceptable behavior by you.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't take the money because you'd just rather
My phone's dead.
lord this over me.
My
It really
phone's
was dead. I mean, that was true.
So,
The wallet wasn't.
so that was the drive home, the Uber to the restaurant, the meal, and then the Uber back,
Yeah,
and the beers.
and the beers.
I can't believe that they thought you were 21 at this place because they didn't ask you for your ID or what?
They didn't ask me for my ID. No. I think I had my wallet. I just didn't have my credit card.
Oh!
So here's the.
No! Damn in evidence! Oh!
Hey,
Look.
When I said to him, when I said, "Do you want to come for a drink?" he was like, he was getting all his credit cards.
He's got my eye, get the scissors out.
Okay.
Cutting them all up.
So look.
Oh, Your Honor. I raise my
Wait,
case.
I would just like, if we're going to, let me give the full story. So a couple weeks ago...
I've just given you the full story.
No, but there's
We're going to
context
ask
here.
some questions. What?
You don't care about these questions, Stevie.
Well, now we want to answer
you
the
do.
questions.
Okay, look, we went out the night before with Dan and Herc, and somehow my credit card got
Okay,
lost.
fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you didn't
Right.
pay that night either.
Come on.
2 nights in a row.
Everyone's a winner.
It was a cheap weekend in
I
Bristol,
love
what
going
can
to
I say?
Connecticut. It's free.
Yep.
You go
All right,
that on the way
Oscar.
up, by the way. Just standing on the side of the motorway on the way up like that, going, anyone? Bristol, Connecticut, please, anybody? Get a lift? Right, ask a question. Come on.
Is Morata a bigger flop than Fernando Torres was for Chelsea?
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet. He's getting there,
But not yet.
but not yet.
In leaps and bounds, he's getting there.
Yeah.
He's hurrying. Stephen wants to know, Pep mentioned how he would like to end his career with a national team. Could he take a country like Scotland or Venezuela to the World Cup quarter or even semi-finals? I'll start with you since you're a Venezuela expert.
Okay, I will take Pep Guardiola, yes, to be our national team coach. However, my expectation would not be to make it to the quarters or semi-finals of the World Cup. Just making it would be wonderful.
Stevie? Pep for Scotland?
I don't think I would like him to be Scotland's manager. It's hard enough. What are you make me looking at me like that for?
Who would you want?
Yeah, you wouldn't want Pep to be Scotland's manager?
Listen, the reason Scotland aren't very good is because they don't have very good players. And Pep isn't going to start playing the ball forward early and then backing things up and keeping it tight and make sure you're fighting and all that lovely good stuff.
So who is your ideal Scotland manager?
I don't know about ideal, but there's no way Pep's taking Scotland anywhere.
Sure.
Yeah, let's pass it out from the back. And oh, by the way, the ball's in the back of your net again after 5 minutes.
I'll take a more positive approach.
Yeah.
Vamos, Venezuela!
Love it. Kartik wants to know, do you think Bayern need to sack Niko Kovac before it gets too late?
See, Arsene Wenger's name's been mentioned today again.
They need new players, don't they? They don't need a new manager.
No, but it might be getting close. Well, got old Uli and Carol Hines will be looking up.
What's Uli doing up there?
The deadly duo up there will be.
Uli?
God, this crew is just...
Uli! Hello?
Up there. Sure I saw him earlier.
Hans has a question for...
How many laughs?
Hans.
If Wenger gets that job, if he does get sacked, so one if not more of our journalists, I can't remember who it was, said, no way. No way, Wenger. No way, you can't. I don't know, I'll need to remember if he gets it. And if he doesn't, I'll have to forget it.
Kind of like his credit cards.
Yeah.
It was Raf, I'm being told, in my ear. Hans wants to know,
I think it might have
Ale.
been more of them than that, but yeah.
We talked about the dark arts earlier here in studio. Who do you think is the best diver in the game right now? Weird that they chose to at you in this.
Well, that's all right. I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
They're in the very right spot.
And I accept it. I would say that in terms of just dark arts in general, Luis Suarez, Diego Costa, they are at the very top. And I love the way they play the game.
I was thinking Luis Suarez.
Yeah, we've got to see.
You would have slipped Sergio Ramos in there.
There's not, no.
He's
obvious. There's nothing dark arts about it. I mean, he obviously elbows people in the mush.
But he gets away with it. So
mush.
it's not that obvious.
Well,
to somebody.
That's not him being
I'll
clever.
interpret
That's
that with the
other
mouth.
people's stupidity.
The mush would be the mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yes, mush.
Thank you.
Subtitles.
Appreciate that.
It's not a dog in the Arctic. Mush.
Oh, like the Iditarod.
Hey?
That's the
You
race
did
in the
what?
Arctic with the dogs.
You
And they
did.
go, what? Stevie, just really.
Seriously.
Let's wrap this before anybody gets in
Seriously.
any more trouble.
We're not in trouble.
We're not?
You're not in trouble. Bring
Not
your wallet, for God's sake.
All right. Well,
That's not in trouble.
we'll be back tomorrow. Whether
Who
my
pays for
wallet
you?
makes it or not has yet to be
look.
determined. Plenty of Champions League to discuss, and I got to go find my credit card. I think I left it at the bar.
You ever go Dutch?
What?
Alongside a former top striker in his day to discuss some of the top strike trios in European football. What we're going to do, we're going to get you to rank them between 1 and 5 at their best, and then we're going to see if you're going to tweak them based on their current form. So who you got at 5?
All right. I think this is an easy one. They're good. But compared to this other group, not so much.
Okay.
Now, it gets a little tricky here. I'm going to go with the Manchester City combo at 4. And the reason I'm picking him below the Liverpool combo is because this front three of Liverpool, when they're at their best, they dictate the way that Liverpool plays. And they're not dependent on anything else. They defend, they create turnovers, and then from there, Liverpool depends on that energy to do well in the attack. So, slightly better than Manchester City simply because of the work that they do defensively. And oh, by the way, the guys from Manchester City, they have some people behind them that, let me tell you, that's a pretty good squad. So I'm just going to give this front three a little edge on the defensive work that they do over this attacking trio. After that, it becomes pretty simple for me. They're very good, but they're not as good as this one. This is at their very best.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking at the very best. How do we separate this front two over here? It's simple for me. Messi is probably the best player of his generation, and these guys are not too bad. And so, therefore, in terms of this top five, at their very best, I'm still taking Coutinho, Suarez, and most of all, Lionel Messi.
However, does that top five change at all based on their current form this season?
Yes, it does. And a couple of the changes become very, very obvious to me. They haven't been as good this year, so they're going to come back this way. And let me tell you, they haven't been as good this year. Most of all has to do with the fact that Cavani has had some injury issues, Mbappe has had some injury issues, Neymar has had some injury issues, and Cavani and Neymar don't seem to be on the same page. That seems to be an issue, so much so that Thomas Tuchel has go on times with just Neymar and Mbappe up top and Cavani on the bench. If that's the case, that's no longer a trio. See, two is not a trio. So we're going to go with that. Are we going to go with that?
We are.
It's a difficult one.
We get your top five. We also get a math lesson as well. No one's taking over, no matter how well they're playing, from Coutinho, Suarez, and Messi. Though.
Or could they?
Well,
or could they?
It's your segment.
Or could they? Because here's the problem. Broken arm. He hasn't been around for a bit. He's been injured. So he's been the only one really playing.
One.
So it's not a trio. It's been a one. And so I'm still not going to do it. I'm going to keep him up there. Messi does so much for this trio that I still think, even at less than their best, they're better than this one's right here.
Tell you what, I'd still take fifth prize and be pretty happy with that.
What should happen, I don't know, because it happens all the time. 2-3 years before this problems with gas happened in the tunnel against River Plate players. They got Boca was out of the tournament in semifinals, and they couldn't play Copa Libertadores for 2 years. Now you go the other way. This happens outside, but it's just a few blocks from the stadium, which River Plate is still in charge of everything that surrounds the stadium, and they want to play the game again. They could never go back into that stadium and play, not even the next day. Can you imagine if Boca wins this game with everything that happened with the River Plate fans? It would have been brutal. It was like a war. There's so many videos that people are not seeing or can't see, the things that happen after the game. For me, they should give Boca Juniors the title and get River Plate out of Copa Libertadores for a few years and give them a big fine. That's the only way they're going to learn, and I think I think that would mean justice to this. A lot of people say play again on empty stadiums. That is going to be even worse. You got to return 70,000 tickets, which most of them were, well, not most of them, but a lot of them were stolen. And it's how it all happened. They found 300 tickets on the #1 hooligan for River Plate in his apartment, plus $180,000. How did he get it? You can only get it through the club. And why wasn't Boca Juniors bus had better custody 2 blocks or a block away from the stadium? It's unheard of. So now they're talking about giving armored buses to the teams. It's crazy. But they're going to have to do something like that. It's just, it's so bad no matter how you look at it.
Are there no consequences? Forget the club for the time being. Is there no consequences for those fans launching whatever they were launching at the bus?
Yeah,
they're clearly on camera.
They're on camera. They were caught the day after, and they were released a few hours within that. And that's what happens.
Love to know who paid their bail.
That's what everybody's asking. And it's very common in Argentina for criminals to go in just for a couple hours and leave for things that are a lot worse than throwing rocks at a bus.
Alejandro, do you see that as justice to hand this title to Boca without a second leg being played? Is that justice for you?
I coming into this weekend, this was supposed to be a showcase event for Argentinian football. It was supposed to be a party atmosphere for Argentinian football, that these two historic rivals were going to be in this historic stadium for a championship that matters, Copa Libertadores. And the significance of that for both clubs, for both sets of players, for the history of Argentinian soccer. And yet the storyline became what Argentina is right now as a country and the struggles of Argentina as a country. Never mind fans, just the behavior of people and how this behavior reflects poorly on everybody involved. So for me, CONMEBOL and Copa Libertadores and River Plate and Boca Juniors and the AFA, the federation, they have to make a decision that is not based on dollars and cents. And that will be the biggest challenge, because there are too many people in powerful positions that have an interest in this game going on. And so, to that end, how do you go about finding justice? It's difficult to find justice in an environment in which justice is very irrelevant.